Alright guys, so today we want to bring some sort of organisation to this mess basically. With all these different coloured and different sized cable ties, all these different rolls of tape. So we want these organised somewhat. Easy access, easy to get. And also we're going to use the French cleat system as well. So I've got my tool wall, which is developing. But the idea is to get everything in my workshop in some sort of fashion on this French cleat wall, and then eventually rebuild the whole and reorganise the wall. Alright, so let's get started. So let's start with the basic design. So top view, okay, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to have 12 holes, and we're going to use PVC pipe. Yeah, that should work nice. And then the idea to have a bit of a step down effect. And then each one steps down further and further, and further and further and further. Alright. So what we've done is we've worked out the different lengths now. So what we'll do now is we'll mark them, and then we'll cut them all on the drop saw. Alright, so here's all our different sizes, all cut nice and neat. So 3 rows of 4, 4 and 4, and then we'll step them out on the board. So I'll lay them out on the board now and show you where they're going to go, and we'll go to the next step. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll now space them out. We'll work out what the size of this board is going to be. So we want to try and keep this as compact as possible. Because it's going to go on my French cleat wall, my tool wall, and again, space is a premium in my workshop. So initially it will be on the wall, but somewhere down the track it might end up getting moved, so we'll keep that in consideration. So we can do it like that, that'll be nice and compact. Or our other option is do that, which means it won't protrude out. So we'll have to get a longer piece, or we've got multiples of 12, or we can end up doing that. Actually, I don't mind that. That way it doesn't come out too far. It's nice and neat. And then this is quite shallow too. Alright, I think we might go with that configuration. Now we're just going to work out how we're going to attach that to this. Alright guys, so I found my solution. I'm going to use a Forstner bit. Now the Forstner bits I've got are absolutely perfect. This is again just slightly bigger. So this should work out just nicely. So what we're going to do now is we'll mark out where we're going to do all these holes, so everything lines up quite nice and symmetrical. And we'll mark a centre point for the Forstner bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, perfect. Okay. Alright, so it's all nice and neatly laid out there. So let's go to the drill press. Alright, so let's line up the hole. Beautiful. Alright, so let's go do a test fit. Perfect. Nicely spaced. Let's do these two and make sure it's okay. So let's test fit these ones out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Alright, let's go. Now what we'll do is, because we're doing repeated cuts, we'll set the depth gauge so we get a nice consistent depth. You know, I don't want to go all the way through. Beautiful. Alright, so now we've got the depth gauge set. Alright. All complete. Alright, so we have one little bit here. This is broken off, which is not a disaster because it's actually inside, but for aesthetics I'll glue it back in. So I think that's come up quite nicely. And again, when we glue these in, we'll try and line them up all nice and neat. Put a bit of spaces when we glue them. Yeah, I'm just going to use normal. That's pretty simple. Am I going to worry about the inside of them? Yeah, no. Alright, so they're all finished. They've come up absolutely brilliant. Nice finish. Again, PVC pipe comes up really nice. Paint adheres to it quite nicely. The insides I'm not going to worry about. It's not going to perturb me too much. Alright, so now we'll grab the base and cut that up to size and then start gluing it in. Hey Macy. Hey puppy. I know, cuddles. I'll give you cuddles in a minute. Alright, so let's just take this to the saw table. We'll cut this off, and then we'll put the French cleat on, and then we'll glue the tubes on. Now if I had a table sled, I would just cut this on the table sled, but this is the bonus of having all these tools set up nice and handy. Alright, that's all done, perfect. Let's now, right, so I've decided to use some Sikaflex. So I'll get a nice healthy bead on the bottom. Alright, so it's quite a generous amount. Alright, now we've put them all in order. So we'll stick them all in place. And then we'll work at getting them all nice and level. Now, because we've put quite a generous amount, it means that I can pretty much hold them exactly into the position I want, and then they're actually going to sit there. No? I thought this was actually going to be harder. Alright, let's have a look. Alright, got all the heights right. Alright, let's just make sure they're nicely spaced. That looks good. Let's check it this way. Yep, nice and level. Alright, so she's all glued, all dry. That's come up really good. Nice and solid, not going anywhere. Quite a nice finish. So, next step, okay? So we've now got our French cleat. So what we're going to do now is basically glue and nail gun this on the rear here. And then that'll now be able to hook straight onto our French cleat, onto our tool wall. And we may need to do a little bit of a support here. I'm not sure if that'll take all the weight, but yeah, we'll have a bit of an experiment and see how we go. Okay, beautiful. That's gone through nicely. Alright, so we'll leave that like that. We'll let that dry and then we'll come back and pop it on the wall, see how she goes. Alright guys, so I put the French cleat on, but what I forgot was I wanted to actually put a shelf underneath. So I've just marked the width of the side material, and now we're just going to chop her up. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll put on both side pieces. We've got the French cleat tacked at the rear. We'll put a piece in the bottom shelf, a piece at the back, and just a little lip at the front, and we're all done. That doesn't look right. Oops. And then that's going to sit on the top quite nicely. And then we've got the French cleat at the back already installed. And then that should be enough room for the French cleat that's on the other wall to slide through. So this is the other French cleat, and that needs to lock in, so it needs a bit of a gap. If there's no gap, then it can't lock in. Almost complete. Now we're just going to put a little lip on the front. Now the only thing with these is just got to double check the depth. So we want these to be out a little bit. Let's see how we go. Beautiful. How's that? I'm pretty happy with that. So let's pop her on the wall and see if she works. And then we can fill her up. Alright, I've got this little hidden corner of my workshop, so I've put my French cleat on. Pop the spirit level on, nice and level. So now, let's see how we go. Let's see. Beautiful. That fits in quite nicely. So there you go, all the cable ties in. Now let's get some tape in there. There you go, all done. So that's all my cable ties organised, electrical tape. And again, it's the French cleat system, so if ever I want to move it, I can move it. Because at the moment all I'm doing is, as I want to store something or reorganise something, I build the French cleats, I pop it up on my wall. I don't really pay too much attention to where it's going at the moment. And once I've got all my tools organised and everything sorted, then I'll start to reorganize everything, because I can just simply lift this off, take it off, reorganize my French cleats, and then when I find a new place for it, simply slots back in. Too easy. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be many more to come. If you've got any other ideas or anything else you do differently, let us know in the comments below. Give us a like or a dislike if you like the content. I'm really enjoying putting all this stuff together for you. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you guys. Bye.